Did you know that Disney World was originally meant to be a BioShock-style libertarian utopia, and that Walt Disney lobbied the Florida government to allow them to have their own creepy, independent government, which they still have to this day?
Or how about the fact that 90s school supply company Lisa Frank was run by violent, tyrannical drug addicts who abused their employees?
Well, did you know that there's a Japanese guy who killed and ate a woman in the 1970s, but due to a legal loophole was never put in prison and became a weird Japanese celebrity who wrote food reviews for magazines?
Well, actually, we did know all those things because we made episodes about all of them and many more on our podcast, Deep Cuts.
Deep Cuts is a deep dive explainer show that explores fascinating but true stories that you won't believe you've never heard about with deeply researched, sometimes shocking, sometimes hilarious episodes.
The show is like a really juicy documentary for your ears mixed with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Deep Cuts has new episodes every single Wednesday for free. Just pause the podcast you're currently listening to and go subscribe to Deep Cuts anywhere you get your podcasts.
Pause the podcast you're listening to right now and subscribe to Ghost Town.
Ghost Town is me, Rebecca Lieb.
And me, Jason Horton.
And we explore all kinds of weird history,
true crime,
hauntings,
paranormal events, and more.
We've covered the Slender Man stabbing, Tesla's death ray, the D.B. Cooper copycat, the cheerleader murder plot,
Heaven's Gate, the Lars Midtank mystery, and Tuesday's Child, Ellie's first satanic magazine, just to name a few.
You can find Ghost Town on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
In 1969, the White House prepares for the worst. I'm Jason Horton, and this is Strange Year. 1969 gave us Woodstock, the Stonewall riots, and Charles Manson. However, an uncovered disaster memo made 1969 a strange year. The Sapphire Memo, July 1969. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to land on the moon. John F. Kennedy birthed the Apollo space program in 1961, and the rest is history. But what if Apollo 11 didn't succeed? President Richard Nixon was prepared for that. 2 days before the first astronauts were to walk on the moon, presidential aide Bob Haldeman had Nixon's speechwriter William Safire draft something for the president to say, just in case the astronauts never made it back. It was titled, "In Event of Moon Disaster." What the memo would have said after a word from today's sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Best Fiends. I love researching the weird parts of history, but sometimes I need a mental break, and Best Fiends is perfect. It's a puzzle game that you can play right on your phone, and it's really cool because you go through all these levels, solving challenging puzzles that actually engage your brain, but it's casual and it's fun. It's a unique and exciting puzzle experience, unlike any other puzzle games out there, and like I said, it's casual, anyone can play. It's made for adults, but it's fun for everyone. Best Fiends updates the game monthly with new levels and events, so it never gets old. I'm well over level 300, and Best Fiends manages to keep it fresh and exciting. It doesn't require internet to play, so it's there for me no matter what. Engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must-play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. Here's the memo read by someone way more compelling than I am, Benedict Cumberbatch from BBC Newsnight.
In the event of moon disaster, fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, know that there is no hope for their recovery. But they also know that there is hope for mankind in their sacrifice. These two men are laying down their lives in mankind's most noble goal, the search for truth and understanding. They will be mourned by their families and friends. They will be mourned by the nation. They will be mourned by the people of the world. They will be mourned by a Mother Earth that dared send 2 of her sons into the unknown. In their exploration, they stirred the people of the world to feel as one. In their sacrifice, they bind more tightly the brotherhood of man. In ancient days, men looked at the stars and saw their heroes in the constellations. In modern times, we do much the same. But our heroes are epic men of flesh and blood. Others will follow and surely find their way home. Man's search will not be denied, but these men were the first, and they will remain the foremost in our hearts. For every human being who looks up at the moon in the nights to come will know that there is some corner of another world that is forever mankind.
I want to thank The New Yorker, BBC News, BBC Newsnight, History.com, and NASA.gov. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back next time with another episode of Strange Year. Pause the podcast you're listening to right now and subscribe to Ghost Town.
Ghost Town is me, Rebecca Lieb,
And me, Jason Horton.
and we explore all kinds of weird history,
True crime,
hauntings.
paranormal events, and more.
We've covered the Slender Man stabbing, Tesla's death ray, the D.B. Cooper copycat, the cheerleader murder plot.
Heaven's Gate, the Lars Mid-Tank Mystery, and Tuesday's Child, Ellie's first satanic magazine, just to name a few.
You can find Ghost Town on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I love the playoffs. Anything can happen. But the best part? It's like bonus football. And bonus football means betting bonuses with Gambit DC. For a limited time, get up to a 57% multi-sport parlay boost on the Gambit DC app, online, or at any Gambit DC retail location throughout the district. It's the most exciting time to be a fan. So make your play and get the home field advantage with Gambit DC. Limited time offer, terms and conditions apply. Please bet responsibly.